24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
You're watching K34QB, Vail.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to TV8's Good Morning Vail for this March 23rd edition. I cannot believe we're already 23 days into March. It feels like time is absolutely flying by. We've got a great show in store for you. We're going to show you a beautiful property that you could acquire here with the Stockton Group. Then we're going to introduce you to Miss Rocky Mountain, and then we're going to step into the kitchen and inspire you on how you can celebrate Chips and Dip Day. It's all taking place on Good Morning Vail, which starts right now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
This weather report is sponsored by Grand Hyatt Vail. Indulge in the bold flavors of Makoto at Grand Hyatt Vail. Make your reservations today.
Lens of the Day is brought to you by Eyepieces of Vail and Goggle Bar.
I love to hear that jingle because I love getting to nerd out about some great technology that can help you out there on the mountain. Now, right here, I've got the Dragon PXV goggle. This is a large fit goggle, so it's going to give you some great peripheral vision on the side of your face as that lens is nice and wide. This also comes with a very magical lens in it because this is a Luma lens, which means it's a photochromatic lens. So as you're out there enjoying the mountain, this lens will get darker. It is a light rose color now, but as that sun's making its way out, that lens will kind of shift colors and help you so that you can see better, so you can ski or snowboard better on the mountain. Now, if you are interested in getting your hands on this goggle, well, then make sure that you stop by any one of the great eyepiece locations here in our community, and that way you can bring home a photochromatic lens. That way you have a one-stop shop. You don't have to change your goggle lens too frequently, and you can just enjoy skiing or riding up there on the mountain. We want to thank Eyepieces of Vail for bringing you this Lens of the Day report. Make sure that you stop by if you have any vision needs. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show.
Good morning, Vail.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television program that helps veterans find jobs and transition back into civilian life. Hi everyone, I'm Gigi Stone Woods. I'm truly honored to host this vital program. Reach out to the opportunities you see on this program by logging on to our website, hiringamerica.net, and by following us on social networking sites such as Twitter. We'll keep that information available throughout the broadcast and on our website 24/7. Now, let's get down to business.
Hi, it's Danielle Turner, the General Manager at TV8 Vail. It's with a heavy heart that I announce that TV8 will cease its operations. We invite you to tune in beginning Monday, March 24th, as we kick off a 5-day celebration of Good Morning Vail, culminating in our finale episode on Friday, March 28th. Join us as we say goodbye to some of our beloved guests and relive decades of nostalgic history. And on behalf of our TV8 family, I want to thank the members of the Vail Valley for allowing us to come into your homes every morning. We will miss you.
Good morning, Vail.
The Stockton Group here does such a great job of helping you find that perfect listing, while a new one here in Avon is the Kestrel, and we are excited to show you this property.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are back at the Kestrel, Avon, Vail Valley's newest luxury townhomes. And greeting us here once again is Patrick Barrett with the Stockton Group Compass Real Estate to give us some insight into another one of your newly finished properties here on site. Thanks for having us again. It's always a pleasure coming out here and checking out
of course.
All the
Thanks
progress.
for being here. Yeah, thank you. As you mentioned, this is our new furnished model.
Yeah.
Furnishings done by the Home Outpost in Gypsum. Love them. What I wanted to highlight today in part was these kitchens.
Yes,
we have these beautiful, beautiful kitchens here. They're always on the top floor, so we get great views, we get natural light.
Absolutely.
A few things to point out in the kitchen. The cabinetry is all rift cut white oak with a variety of different colors. So if people want to just come in and say, looks great, I'll take it, we got stuff ready to go and finished and furnished. But buyers, if they want to, can really select everything. So they can choose the color of the cabinetry. You can, the floors are also wet oak, and those can be done in a variety of different stain colors. The countertops are quartz. They're beautiful. This one is kind of a light gray tone that goes really nicely with this cabinet color. Yeah. But if I want to choose that, I can choose that too. I think something that I really think is valuable about this development and our developer is they're really open to people customizing these, where more frequently it's just this is what it is and you can choose A, B, or C. We've got like 20 different colors of cabinetry that people can choose, so you can really customize it and make it your own. I think is pretty cool.
I think we talked about this last time we were here, is really potential buyers have that option and that flexibility to turn it into their home and their whatever their preferences are, whether it's colors or the countertops, and that really makes it feel a little bit more homey. So what do you say we kind of go back here, highlight some of the features? We've got a really nice stove back here. Tell me about it, and then we'll kind of move throughout.
All of the appliances are Thermador, so very high end, really functional and beautiful stuff. This is a 54-inch Thermador range. It has 6 gas burners, 2 which are induction. That's kind of all the rage. People rather like that. Electric induction. 6 gas burners, a dual fuel range, Zephyr hood. And then dishwasher also is Thermador. Micro is
And the
Thermador.
microwave down on
And then
the
a
side.
big side-by-side refrigerator.
Yeah. Which we
fridge
can,
on one side and freezer on the other side. Open it up.
Take a look. Yeah. So, and I love all the hardware on here, like the handles and everything. You know, that is really nice. So there, it's kind of that integrated fridge that just blends in seamlessly with the rest of the kitchen, right?
Yep. And that's another customizable item too. So this hardware is kind of a rustic looking stainless steel, and buyers can select really whatever they want. So if you wanted gold, if you wanted black, if you wanted totally different shape, people can really choose whatever they want.
I love that. And one thing that you also mentioned that I think is huge is all the living space is on the top floor.
Yep.
If you're going to be in the kitchen having people over, the deck is right next to us. So it really kind of gives that ability for you to move and utilize the space to the max of its ability, and then you've got these amazing views throughout.
Agreed. And our outdoor patio space out here is worth noting too. If you can see that, we've got a big gas fireplace out there, plenty of space for an outdoor dining set, sofa, and all of these are functional windows that can be opened. We have full air conditioning on all levels. But just imagining like being in here cooking, we got a nice western sunset view, friends and family outside enjoying the fireplace, and everybody's kind of connected.
Exactly. I love that. What do you say we maybe check out a couple more aspects of the house and give people, some insight into the Kestrel here on Avon and keep showing people around?
Wonderful.
Let's do it. Patrick, we're continuing kind of this little tour overview of another one of your properties here at the Kestrel in Avon. And we are, as we mentioned, in the main living space, which happens to be the kind of the top floor of the townhomes here. And this is kind of the main living room. Tell me a little bit about that and then kind of what all happens on this top floor.
Yep. So top floor is where everything is at. This is the main heart of the house.
Yes.
Living room, dining room, wet bar at the dining, kitchen, outdoor patio space with the fireplace. And we also have the den on this level too. So that optional 4th or 5th bedroom, depending the floor plan. We call the den. They're set up as an office, but they can very easily be a bedroom with, people frequently make them a bunk room. And if it does become a sleeping room, the bathroom that is on the upper level has a full shower. So it's ready to be serving that bedroom. And I just love this space. I love that it's on the top floor. It gets all the views and light.
It sure does,
and it's just a really comfortable place to hang out. Like I just imagine everybody's spending the majority of their time up here. The floor plans that we have here at Kestrel Avon, this is a 3-bedroom plus den floor plan with a 2-car garage. Yep. And we also have a little bit larger, 1,000 square feet larger, 4-bedroom plus den. So the 3 plus den can really be a 4-bedroom. Yeah. The 4 plus den can really be a 5-bedroom. And that 4 plus den also includes a 3-car garage, which for townhome product anywhere in this valley is really unheard of, and I think is really cool. So, yeah.
Going back to that flexibility, livability, which I think, are things we've touched on before when talking about just some of the features of these townhomes. And you're right, I do envision, families up here, whether we're watching some TV, we're getting down in the kitchen, we're outside, it's all kind of happening out here, and you have that all on the top floor, which I love.
Recapping your ski day or your mountain bike day or whatever. So one other extra feature that I think is really cool, just specific to the garage, because certainly we have a lot of front range owners up here who are they're bringing their own vehicle and they're bringing all their stuff,
the gear and stuff.
All the gear. So something that I think really thoughtful about the Kestrel design is we have 8.5-foot garage doors and 9-foot ceilings in the garage, which is not normal. So what that means for us is if I'm driving a full-size Suburban with a cargo box on the top with all the skis and everything, without having to undo it or park it outside, I'm just pulling right into the garage. It's heated in there. That's something unique about Kestrel that has gotten great feedback so far, and I think kind of sets this place apart.
Yeah, having those oversized garage where you don't have to worry about anything and roll right in and have all your gear taken care of. What do you say? Maybe we take a peek at one more aspect of the house, and then we'll finish off there, kind of continuing this little tour that you're giving us here of the Kestrel today.
Wonderful.
All right, let's do it. And our last stop here at the Kestrel in Avon today is the primary suite, which we are standing in right now. Patrick, Tell me a little bit about some of these features. It feels super cozy in here.
Yeah, thanks for coming down here. We don't give enough highlight to the primary suite sometimes. So what I wanted to, a couple things to note. Primary suites in every unit at the Kestrel Avon has their own private outdoor balcony.
Love that.
Space to escape the kids or whatever you have going on. Yes. A big walk-in closet.
Okay.
This is a king-size bed. So they're just really nice size suites. The walk-in closet I just mentioned, and then a 5-piece bath, which includes a steam shower.
Oh, wow.
So super comfortable, in-floor heat everywhere.
Yep.
And that private balcony is where I would spend a lot of my time.
Yep.
So,
and nice. I do see a tub back there as well. So that's, you know, another option. Maybe soak in at the end of the day, kind of relax in your little private primary suite.
All things that are good to do at the end of a big day on the mountain.
There you go. So, absolutely. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Patrick. We're going to end our little tour of the Kestrel in Avon here in the primary suite. We checked out the main living, and then we've got kind of all the rooms on the lower level. So once again, it's always a pleasure coming out here, checking it out. Where can folks go to visit to learn more?
Thank you. TheKestralavon.com is our website, and you will find everything there.
There you have it, theKestralavon.com. Stockton Group, thank you so much for having us. So we'll see you here back soon.
All right.
We're going to take a short break, everybody. Stay tuned. We'll be back with more after this.
Good morning, Vail.
Coming at you from around the world. The biggest names in sports, entertainment, and business.
Here we go.
Yeah, there's no way.
Exclusive access and one-on-one conversations.
Yeah, you guys really did some deep research.
I don't think we should give him any more information.
In depth with Graham Bensinger.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Miss Rocky Mountain stopped by the studio to give us some great information on how her pageantry is going, so let's hear what she has to say.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Joining us now, we have a special guest. We have Gabrielle Burns. She is Miss Rocky Mountain going for Miss Colorado. Gabrielle, how we doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing fantastic. So tell us all about this journey. How did it start? Where are you from? Kind of tell us your story here.
Absolutely. So I'm actually from Parker, Colorado, but I currently go to school at CU Boulder.
Okay, awesome.
Yes. So the Miss Colorado opportunity, I really started with my coworker who told me that I exhibited great leadership qualities and that I should look into it. So once I did, I started getting as involved as I possibly could, and it's been one of my greatest passions ever since.
You sound a little surprised that you're a leader. Is that you didn't know that, right?
It's nice to have other people recognize it for sure.
For sure. And so we're coming into it right now, right? The Miss Colorado's in June, right? So you're kind of gearing up for it. What goes into this? How can people help and support you? But what are you working on right now?
Yeah, so every single one of the delegates has what's called a community service initiative. So for every single person, you each work on something that you're very passionate about. For me, I decided I wanted my CSI, my Community Service Initiative, to be what I called Beyond Voice.
Okay.
And that is an initiative where I advocate and raise awareness and fundraise for individuals in rural school districts in Colorado who are nonverbal and who need communication devices.
How amazing. How amazing. So speech pathology, is that what you're studying right now?
Yes, it
is. Amazing. What made you kind of get into that? Is there a personal experience or what made you kind of go after that one?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I severely struggled with what are called motor tics. And you can think of it, most people would recognize it as Tourette syndrome. However, motor tics are a way less severe version of Tourette syndrome, but still impacted me very heavily with the way I was able to communicate with other people. So I started having speech develop in my life, in my school life, and my mom's also a speech pathologist, so she helped at home as well.
That's amazing. Shout out moms out there.
Shout out,
Thanks, Mom. That's amazing. What have you kind of learned on this journey, kind of going into speech pathology and helping people? What have you kind of learned?
Yeah, there are so many great things that you can kind of pull from this, but one of the biggest ones I would say, I have such a big heart for others. It's one of my biggest drives and passions, and I really find that kind of seeking speech pathology, working further with Beyond Voice, working further with the Miss Colorado opportunity, I kind of find out new things about my passions every single day. So it's been quite the journey, but it's been something that I seriously never could replace, and it's just made me such a better person for it.
That's amazing. And so with Beyond Voice, where can people go for more information or to support? How is there social medias? How can people get involved with
Yeah. So I have my own social media. It's Miss.Gabrielle Burns, but also we have a spot fund. So what a spot fund is it's a platform where you can raise money to do certain things. For me, right now, we're assisting with Elbert County way down in Elizabeth, Colorado. They're out in the rural school district, we're assisting them right now. I'm close with one of the SLPs, speech language pathologists.
Of course.
There. And so we're really working getting communication devices and advocating for those kids in those school districts.
That's amazing. That's very powerful. What's kind of the fun part of this?
There are actually so many fun parts about it. I would say meeting the kids is just like absolutely life-changing. They are kids. Kids will be kids. And some of the things that they'll ask you, or just getting to interact with them, being like, oh my gosh, so nice to meet you. Who's your favorite Barbie doll? It's like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad you asked me this question. Duh, it's Raquel.
Duh.
Obviously.
Yeah, come on.
But I would say getting to meet these kiddos, making those connections, it's something that started my heart for it. And I truly believe if I was a little kid struggling with this, and having someone who was struggling with the same thing in a leadership role literally would have changed my life.
For sure. That's so amazing, kind of get out there and help these people. What's going on with the competition here? Where are we at in that? When's it happening? What can you do to help out?
So it's coming up. It's very close. It's going to be June 12th through the 14th. And those include preliminaries and then also those final events as well. So we're getting pretty close. We just had a St. Patrick's Day parade in Denver, which is so much fun. So we have a couple more small events like that. And then we kick it right in gear with the competition
That's
in June.
amazing. So I understand you're going to be dancing as well. That's one of the skills you have here.
Yes, I am.
Tell me a little bit about your background in that. Do you have your routine set? What's going to go into that one?
Yes. So I've actually been dancing since I was 3. I danced ballet, jazz, tap, all the things. And then in high school, I started doing like dance team stuff as well. And I'm actually minoring in it.
Okay,
in
awesome.
College.
Okay, amazing.
But I grew up watching Dancing with the Stars with my grandma, and it's one of my most fond memories. And so when I got to college, I was like, I've kind of exhausted all other dance forms. Like, I want something new.
Right.
And I decided to start doing competitive ballroom dancing.
Amazing.
Thank you. And I now teach it too.
Amazing.
Which is the coolest thing ever. So I'm actually going to be doing a cha-cha for Miss Colorado. Very, very fringe outfit, very bright colors. So I'm excited.
I love that. Can you talk a little bit, Gabrielle, about like the camaraderie that goes into this? Like, I understand you're very friends with some of the people that came before you that are coming behind you, but like, what's the camaraderie like in this kind of Miss America, Miss Colorado?
Yeah, I have always been a person who really, really loved getting to know different girlfriend groups. And I think Miss Colorado was just the perfect opportunity for me to do that. One of my very best friends I met through the Miss Colorado opportunity, and she lives in Dallas right now, but she and I are so close, and that is a relationship of mine that I truly treasure, and I believe that we're going to be friends forever. So to have met these women who are just as driven, just as motivated, just as passionate about different issues as I am really brings together that camaraderie aspect, because we're all striving and we're all motivated for the same thing. So it kind of makes a common ground.
That's
there.
awesome, kind of building a sisterhood there. So this is Good Morning Vail, and it is Miss Colorado. What's kind of your background in skiing or snowboarding or in the mountains? What do you like to do out here?
I love hiking.
Okay.
Hiking is one of like my absolute favorite things to do. While I am in Colorado, I have a goal to hike all of the 14ers. It's a hefty list, and I haven't gotten there yet to all of them, but hiking has been like, it's just a huge therapeutic aspect for me, just of life, and especially in school. I'm up at CU Boulder, like I said, so the Flatirons are right there. It's like the perfect opportunity to go outside. I have snowboarded before. Am I good at it? Absolutely not.
I think that's a lot of us out here. A lot of people, it's a tough thing to do. So that's totally fine. Gabrielle, anything else I should have asked you? Anything else people should know either about you or your journey here?
I am just super excited. If people are looking for a way to get involved or to donate or to advocate, please, like I said, you can go to my spot fund, you can reach out to me. You can also go to misscolorado.org, and that's going to have a lot of different information. But I truly am so happy to be here today. So
amazing.
Thank you for having
And then one last
me.
time, how can people support you? Can we watch in June? How can people get involved?
Oh yeah, so our competition this year is actually going to be at DU. So if you're looking to become involved, or you're looking to kind of see different aspects of Miss Colorado, or even just come watch, absolutely please get tickets to go to DU. It's the same thing. It's going to be at that misscolorado.org website.
Awesome. Gabrielle, thanks so much for coming in early this morning.
Thank you so
Best
much.
of luck in these next couple months. You've got
Thank you.
this. And thanks for just doing great work out there and helping other people. That's kind of what it's all about, right?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Awesome. And we will be right back with the rest of the show.
Join us on board the Leadville Railroad Winter Express. Stay cozy in our heated lounge cars. Marvel at the stunning winter landscape. Sip delicious hot chocolate. Don't forget to check out our new specials. Book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
TV8 Vail is expanding its distribution, and we want you to be the first to know. You can now find TV8 and our all-Spanish live stream Conecta en Vivo on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Search the channel store for TV8 Vail and Conecta en Vivo on your device and add them to your list of favorite channels. And as always, you can continue to live stream on our website at tv8vail.com or find us on Spotify. At home or on the go, you'll never miss a minute of your favorite local programs on TV8.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey Morgan. I'm with Ron Byrne & Associates. And today I'd like to welcome you to Mine House and Mi Casa, a premier bed and breakfast right here at the base of Beaver Creek Mountain. Let's go inside.
property is currently being run as a bed and breakfast with 20 bedrooms, all with ensuite bathrooms. Right now we are standing in Mikasa, and next door we also have Mine House. A wonderful opportunity to own a turnkey hospitality business, but it's also an opportunity to own it as a private residence. It can be sold all as one or in individual pieces, however you choose.
So now that we've had a chance to show you these two amazing properties, Mikasa and Mine House,
we would love the opportunity to show you in person. Give us a call.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that today is National Chips and Dip Day? Well, we've got some creative ways to get you inspired. We're going to teach you how to make a snack stadium, so let's head into the kitchen.
We're back. We're here in the kitchen again.
In the kitchen. Love it.
Because there is a big game happening at the end of the week.
That's
and
right.
You've got to have all of the fun things to make it happen.
Yeah.
To entertain and to be entertained, right?
Yeah.
Well, we are going to make, everybody loves a snack and everybody loves dips, right?
Right.
What's your favorite dip
Oh
during a
man,
Super Bowl?
something hot and cheesy.
Hot and cheesy.
Yeah.
Well, this is not the hot and cheesy
Oh, that's
version
okay.
because we've got to make the structure. We are making a tinfoil aluminum football stadium.
Awesome.
To put all of the snacks, all of the dips in, and it's just a really fun way to entertain your friends and family if you're watching the big game.
Love it.
So pretty awesome. So we've got two aluminum sizes here
Cool.
of these tins. So the big one is going to be your field, and then the little ones are actually going to be your stands.
Sweet.
Yeah, pretty great. So all we're going to be doing is just assembling it. And then we've got straws. We like straws.
Cool.
Because these will make the goalposts. And so I'm going to task you with being creative and making a goalpost.
All right. Love that.
So we've got scissors here, and then you've got you can make this in like bigger versions of it, but we're just going to do a small one. A lot of these bigger versions, and I think you mentioned you've seen it, where you take Coke boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have no idea how to assemble that one, so we're not going to even attempt to do it on the television.
This will work easier, I think.
I think so too, and this is like a decent portion to serve to your friends and family, so you don't have a ton of food left over. But what we've got is a glue gun, and we've got Elmer's glue if we need it, and then we've got our tin. So pretty easy. All you're going to do is put the smaller tin here on the side. So we're going to just hot glue gun the edges here, and we can make sure that this is still hot. It's hot glue guns heat up very quickly, but you kind of have to put a little bit of pressure on them to get that glue out. And we're working on, I'm putting it in 3 points of contact here, just to anchor it down. All right, and then before it gets cold, you just stick it right here on the side, and we hold it in place for a second so that it stays. And then one of the things you can also do with this is like provide a little bit of extra aluminum foil underneath it to provide extra structure. And you just kind of hold it in place there. So we're just holding it in place, getting it assembled. There we go. Look at that. That's our first side. And I would say I'm a big fan of structure support in building in real life and in crafting because we are going to be loading snacks into these. So we want to make sure that it's actually staying on. So we'll go ahead and do the next one. Do you want to man the glue gun?
I think you got it.
Okay, all right.
I don't know if I'm certified.
I would say that you probably
gun.
are. So we're going to just rotate it. And we've got two here, so we'll take that bottom one out. And so it's looking great, right? Want to make sure that's centered. I didn't center that one, but we'll make sure that we center it on the rest,
it's
right?
looking like mile high already.
It is. So we're just putting 3 more dots on the either side of these. Looking great. All right, we'll put a little bit more on that outside just to make sure that it is secure. And then what I'm doing, I'm actually kind of like melding it around the edges so you can see that it stays and it's flush. So we're just kind of holding it there for like 3 seconds, waiting for that glue to dry. You know, here we go. It's a party.
It's coming together already.
It is coming together. I think this is just a really fun way to show off your hosting skills.
Yeah.
You know, there we go. We've got the end zone. So we probably will stick a little bit of tin foil in the backside here, but we're going to assemble everything else first.
Cool.
So moving on to the next one, and this is just like a bread pan or like a mini like pound cake pan. So you can get these in the baking section at the grocery store. I'd say Walmart doesn't necessarily have these, but if you go to like a city market or just any sort of grocery store around, they usually will have all kinds of shapes and sizes. So even if you don't want to do a football stadium, you can start crafting with aluminum tin pans, you know, why not? All right, we've got this next one going on here. So this is side number 3, and it's gonna be,
I'm just trying to mentally prepare for the goalposts.
Oh, the goalpost. That's going to be a fun one. That's going to take a little bit of creativity. So I think it's whatever way you want to try to make it will totally work. Awesome. So we're just sticking them in there, and I am definitely pressing the edges and the glue points to the edge of the big pan. So you can see it there. So it's starting to look like a stadium. What do you think?
It's looking like it. It's getting there.
We are getting there. All right, last side here with our glue gun. So I'm putting a generous amount of glue. I don't know if you can tell here, but you just want to make sure that it'll like fill in all of the cracks between the ripples in the aluminum foil. So we've got a decent amount of glue right there. 3 points, that's probably all you need. Sides, middle, and then you just kind of, and the harder part I'd say is probably here on the end.
Yeah.
Because you've got to get your fingers in
We'll
there.
Get some support under them. We'll get it looking nice.
Yeah, it's looking great. You know what I've loved? Okay, so our stadium itself is ready to go. It's all together, looking good. Now, if you wanted to put extra, like again, as I mentioned, you can put the extra tin foil underneath it, like because it'll pop off just like that. But not to worry, because hot glue will stick on there.
Yes.
You just have to be gentle with it when you are moving it back and forth.
What kind of snacks are we going to put in this thing?
Well,
is that
I think
a surprise?
It could be a surprise. Okay. We're going to make a dip, obviously, and then all kinds of options in regard to whatever you want to put in with your dip. You can be carb-friendly, low-carb, veggies, whatever you want. And we've got all those options to show you here. All right, great. So we're just going to let this set and let it dry. Now, you do have to be careful. Yes. As we can see, the hot glue can sometimes pull it off, but looking good here. So goalposts. We've got straws. Let's get those going.
What do you think we use the bendy part?
So here's how, this is what I would do. Okay. We're gonna cut them, we're gonna try different things. So should we do 2 different colors for the different teams? Yeah. Why not, right? I'm gonna go with red.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab 3 red straws and we'll see how this turns out, you know. Always fun to adventure. I'd say we definitely do the bendy part.
Kim, it is always an adventure in the kitchen.
It is. So we're just gonna go ahead and pull it all the way out. You can bend your straw just like that, right? And then what we're gonna do is take our scissors and we're gonna cut. We're gonna make sure, actually before we even do that, just make sure that you're even. All right, here we go. And we're just gonna go ahead and cut it just like that. We're just throwing straws all over the place. And we're gonna stretch them out. And then here's the fun part. You're gonna take one end and make it really small and bend it if you can.
Kim, I went a different route here. I just kind of pulled them out and made them into a
Yours is way
post.
Easier. I like your version better. But I guess we take tape or like, you could take glue, whatever you want. But I'm just sliding it in.
Normally when I make goalposts, it's not the bendy straws. So that's what's throwing me for a curve here. You know? When I make my goalposts all the time like this.
Yeah, you could do it just like that. And then if you wanted to like glue your straw to it or just do your version, which I think I like better. Losing my straw there. And then we can just glue it.
You know, they say if you want to get something done efficiently.
Put a man in charge?
No, you get you put a lazy person in charge because they find the easiest way to get it done.
Well, I think I like your version better. We're gonna go with that.
Cool.
And then we're just gonna make 2 goalposts and then we're gonna glue them onto either side of our of our stadium set up here, and then we'll fill everything in. And then we've got some fun little figurines to show everybody on the break. But this is where we're getting started. So here's our stadium. You have to be a little bit gentle. This is what it looks like. And then we'll stick those goalposts in once we've assembled the layer and the dip and all the fun things. So it's gonna be a fun one. We'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
The Paltrowcast is an award-winning weekly series featuring exclusive interviews with entertainers, athletes, and other influencers. Tune in weekdays at 10 a.m. to see where the conversation takes us.
Discover the perfect blend of style and performance in your eyewear at Eyepieces. With convenient locations in Vail Village, Lions Head, Beaver Creek, Edwards, Basalt, and Snowmass, Eyepieces is the destination for luxury eyewear and high-performance optics. From iconic brands to the latest in sport frames and snow goggles, we have the eyewear to match your mountain lifestyle. Plus, we offer prescription lens services, including eye exams, custom lenses, and prescription goggles for your mountain adventures. Visit us today to experience the art of vision. Eyepieces, serving the Vail Valley's vision needs for over 40 years.
Ready to power up for summer? Whether you hike, bike, golf, or just want to feel great, get ready for summer with Mountain Recreation. Sign up for our Power Up for Summer promo and get 4 personal training sessions, a nutrition consultation, and exclusive recovery group access, all for $250 at the Gypsum Rec Center. Register by March 24th for April sessions at mountainrec.org or the Gypsum Rec Center front desk. Mountain Recreation. Active, healthy, together.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that. And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. Their NFL insider, one of them, is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning 3 as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
Good morning, Vail.
Now it's time for us to make some delicious dips to fill our stadium, so let's head back into the kitchen.
We are back. We're assembling.
We switched sides.
We switched sides. Now here's the best part, is putting the stuff into the stadium.
Okay.
Right? So, you know, the gates are opening, the fans are excited.
That's
They've been
it.
hanging out in the parking lot, and they are ready to get prepared for the big game, for the pregame entertainment. So we're going to go ahead and get that started. Now, I love a 7-layer dip. We're not going to do 7 layers because I don't want to use the lettuce that is typically in a shredded 7-layer dip. But what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get started. So what I'm going to ask you to do, there's a really fun layer that I like. It's sour cream and taco seasoning.
Okay.
So if you wouldn't mind, we've got just a small jar. We've got about how many ounces there? We've got
a pound.
About a pound.
16 ounces.
16 ounces of sour cream. And we're just going to put the whole jar into a bowl and then mix in the taco seasoning.
Okay.
So I'm going to let you do that. And then the first layer of our dip is going to start with, we've got this can of traditional refried beans. That's it. It doesn't need to be heated up. Just put it into the bottom of your pan. So I'm going to go ahead and open this can. We're going to use the whole can into the bottom of the pan here. And it's just going to be really, you know, we're getting the layer dip started. Here we go.
I love how much is going into this.
Right?
This is going to be great.
And I'm always like the worst. And don't try this at home, kids. When you can't get your can all the way open, do not stick your fingers in it. All right. Got it. All right. So, yeah, you're just basically, sour cream and taco seasoning is the easiest thing. I'm going to grab a fork here to pull
We're
this
going to
out.
use this whole packet?
Whole packet. So
Cool.
just get it in there, mix it around. And then we've got all of the other layers as well. Well, there we go. There we go. Got it? I'm just going to take this refried bean dip just like that. And it's the easiest. It's, you know, not the most appetizing looking initially, but we're going to get this in the bottom of the pan because it's just going to kind of hold everything and bind everything together from our dip perspective. it provides like a good base layer to the dip. So once it's in here, I'm spreading it around while you're doing the mixing. Ross, you were looking good as a chef here.
I don't know about all that. I'm here for moral support.
Moral support, right? And I want to make sure that I'm not ruining the sides of my stadium. We could have assembled the dip ahead of time, but just to be on the safe side, you want to see what it looks like. All right, this is looking good. Nice thin layer of these refried beans on the bottom. Ross is doing great with the taco sauce, taco seasoning, sour cream. And then I think Ross, once you are done with that, we're gonna have you put your layer on next, so no pressure. Looks good to me.
It's getting there. All
yeah,
right.
Get it there. So go ahead and scoop it in there, and then I'm gonna do a little bit of a spreading around. Yeah, it looks great. So we've got three different kinds of veggies: red and yellow peppers, carrots, cucumbers. We do have a little bit of celery as well, so we do actually have 4. I'm gonna grab my celery. And then the cheese. We've got cheese, you've got guacamole, we've got shredded or diced up ground beef, we've got some pico de gallo. It's the perfect 7-layer dip.
Love this.
Minus the lettuce, so it's probably 6-layer dip.
That's okay.
Looks good to me. Awesome. Yeah, looking great. So we're just gonna spread this around, and that's the dip. So it's just sour cream and taco seasoning. It's a secret. Most people are like, what? And that's okay if there's some in the bottom, because we're just gonna stuff our fans into the crowd here. All right, looking good. Who doesn't love a good 7-layer dip? Are you a fan?
I love it.
Yeah, I am too.
Why stop at 7?
Why stop at 7? Just put all the flavors together. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna let you do this one.
All right.
That's ground beef, so it has been cooled down. You don't want to put it freshly hot right onto the dip, because it will, kind of make the flavors melt a little bit. And just dump it all in there and spread it around. Yeah, you can just throw it in and make it easy, and we'll spread it around. There we go.
Just throw it
easy,
in.
just like that, right? So I'm spreading around the ground beef. And if you don't like beef, you can do this with like turkey. You could do it with sausage. Whatever you really want to. But personally, beef is the classic, so you got to go with it. Right, looking good, looking good. So next, what we would do is usually you would do the shredded cheese and the pico de gallo on top, but because we want the guacamole to be the field, we're putting that on last. So if you want to spread a little bit of guacamole or a little bit of pico de gallo around, just like that, yeah. It doesn't have to be a lot, because we're going to use some of the cheese and a little bit of the pico de gallo to make the end zone and the hash marks. It's going to be great.
My favorite part is going to be the red zone of this thing.
The red zone. Shout out to those who shall not be named, but a big fan of that show. All right, let's see. So we've got a little bit of this in here, and then we'll add a little cheese. So if you want to sprinkle some cheese in there. And you can really, this is the best part, you can be creative with this. Some people don't like pico de gallo, but they just don't have to eat the dip. That's all I'm saying. Yep, so we're just gonna mix that in. Looking great. There's our dip. Yeah, perfect. Doesn't have to be too much.
No?
Yeah, whatever. We're gonna put a little bit more to make the hash marks and the yard lines and all that fun stuff.
Cheese is my love language, I usually go pretty heavy on that one.
That's fair. So you can make guacamole from scratch, but I say just do the store-bought thing. It makes this entire assembly way easier. All right, there we go. Okay, cool. So we're gonna spread the guacamole around. Do you want to do it?
I can sure
a lot
try.
A lot of pressure there.
This is only our field, so.
No pressure, we don't want to mess it up. Looking good. I don't want to, I'll do a little bit of this and check that out. There we go.
All right, we're kind of not getting the whole field here yet, but we'll get there.
We will get there. I'm going to use a clean spoon to help you out there. And then we'll rock and roll with the assembly. Yeah, so if you needed to, you can always buy a bigger one, and then if you really wanted to, you can just spread some lettuce on top of it.
Got it.
Yeah, just like that. So here's the fun part, Ross. You get to decide who goes where, what fans are sitting where in the stands. So, and then all you have to do is start assembling it, right? So we could put more layer of guacamole on top of it. It just depends on how big your dish is, but you know, looking pretty good so
looking
far.
pretty good, yeah.
You know, we'll go from here. And then if you really wanted to, you could just shred some lettuce on top of it. But we're just going to go ahead and leave it just like this for now, and just to give you a general idea of what it'll look like. And obviously, you could probably spend a long time making this perfect. But I've got some celery here. We're going to go ahead and get that opened up. Do you want to go with the carbs, or do you want to go with the veggies?
Either or. I'll help.
There we go. So I would say I'm going to do veggies on the outside. How do you feel about that?
Perfect.
Yep. All right, great. So we've got, I like to, you know, in the essence of fans, I'm going to put all the green veggies on one side, which is all the celery, personal opinion, and just shove that in there. Looking great. And then I'm going to do, I've got cucumbers here, and you know, these cucumbers, instead of a traditional, you know, I'd say like silver dollar shape, the round shape, we went long ways. So I took a greenhouse English cucumber, I cut it into thirds, and then from there I cut those round shapes into halves, and then I just continued to make them nice, long, slender, dipping cucumbers. All right, the green team.
Green team.
Fly Eagles fly, except they're not. Sorry, fans. They're not in it. Next side, I'm going to do the orange, the red, and these are just carrots, peppers, yellow and red peppers.
We're doing pretzels and tortilla chips on these sides.
Looks great. Awesome. Looking great. I'm going to go ahead and stick these peppers into this side, and just provides variety. So if you wanted to do this at like, you can really honestly do this any way that you want to. I've seen it where you've had like, you've got queso, then you've got guacamole, then you've got salsa, and you kind of divide it out by putting aluminum foil dividers in it. But I like the idea of one whole field.
I like it.
You know?
I like it.
It's fun, lots of fun. So we're just gonna finish doing that. And then once you've assembled all of the food, you've assembled, you know, the stadium, the straws, then you get to start decorating it. You know, you can take little toothpicks and make figurines. Awesome, look at that, looks great to me.
Oh, the red.
And this would be a fun little project just to show you. You can like print out like little figures just like this, and then if you wanted to, you can glue them to the back of a toothpick, stick them in the middle. You know, you can do. Let's do a little bit of cheese. You want to do some cheese sprinkles to make Ash up? Yeah, you're the cheese guy. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then another option, you can take these red Solo cups, just like this, and put them in either corner and stick like your silverware, your napkins, you know, whatever it is that you want to do. Looking good. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I'm ready to dig into this right good, now. Yeah, look at that end zone, that cheesy end zone.
Starting to look like an end zone, yeah.
It really is. It looks great. You can add more pico de gallo into it if you wanted to, just to give it some more structure. Another fun way that you can also kind of fill in the corners here, if you wanted to put salsa. Like, so we've got just some Tostitos salsa right there. You can put it in a jar. Whatever it is, you can just kind of put more dips, like ranches if you wanted to. Not saying that you'd want to do ranch with the 7-layer dip, but maybe you're not into the 7-layer dip, but you want the accoutrement that come with it and something else to dip it in. So you can just do some variety, but I think I'm ready to.
That looks pretty good.
Is it Sunday yet? Because I'm ready for this. Well, should we dip into it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, what are you going with? I think I'm going with the classic chip. Why not? Classic chip, diving straight into the middle.
Perfect.
As I break it. But you also can provide like, you know, a spoon to help people get this into their mouths. Well, I'm going to try it. Here we go.
Tastes like Sunday.
It does, and we'll be right back after this.
Good morning, Vail.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back. America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz. where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
We're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No.
Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
In America's heartland, living close to the land, there's a love for the country and a pride in the brand. In America's heartland, living close to the land. In America's heartland, close to the land.
Good morning, Vail.
We want to thank you so much for tuning into your Sunday morning edition of Good Morning Vail. We hope we've inspired you to eat some chips and dip today because it's going to be a great day to do so. We want to thank you so much again for tuning in. We love getting to be here each and every morning to inspire you to try something new. I've been your host, Maddie Evans, and we'll see you next time.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
TV8 Vail is expanding its distribution, and we want you to be the first to know. You can now find TV8 and our all-Spanish live stream Conecta en Vivo on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. Search the channel store for TV8 Vail and Conecta en Vivo on your device and add them to your list of favorite channels. And as always, you can continue